people widely know, these types of transformation initiatives can contain a high level of risk. And because our legacy is a disparate collection of business processes, it was clear early on that the biggest obstacle that we would face is the incessant ongoing dialogue about which business process was to be chosen as the the target to standardize around. These very simple golden rules of don't change the software, adapt to the software, not vice versa, and ensure the integrity of the data that the software is based on, is an extraordinary facilitator for change management, because there's no debate about standardized business process. If anybody comes to me and says my process is better, the answer is no. The answer is whatever SAP dictates as the standard process is the standard process.
Give you an example is within our pork business and within our chicken business, we have an operation called catch weight. And what catch weight is if we're cutting up chickens and we're selling it in the bulk, we need to know the exact weight of that container, because it's different from one container to the next as we're shipping it out. As you're cutting up different pieces of chicken and putting it in the box, for example, right? Well, people, when we first started, say, well, how are we going to solve that? We're going to have to have some special third-party package. We were actually able to work with SAP and come up with a solution to meet that needs and stay standard process without having to do a lot of unique requirements or a lot of custom modifications as it goes through.
So we start with the premise that no change is the right answer. I think history has proven that the two most dangerous words in change management is "we're different." And we look at that with a very high level of skepticism. That's not to say that we don't listen. We're not business process or software change free. We're just very change light. And so if there is a distinctive competitive advantage that is absolutely unique about our business, then obviously we're not going to ignore that. But 95, 98% of the requests under the column of "we're different" typically aren't. And standardized business practices around what the software was built to handle is satisfactory for us as well. Less than 100.
Less than 100 modifications.
We haven't hit 3 digits yet.
Right, and I think it's going to hold me to that one, but less than 100 modifications to date that are core to SAP. Most companies at this point are getting close to 1,000. So this is a very, very vanilla implementation, which is going to allow us later on to allow us to modify our process as business changes go on in the future, to allow us to upgrade and keep current, to keep our total cost of ownership of our solution down. I mean, all the right things to do, we're proving you can do it. So one of the key benefits we see that will coming out of it goes into shared services. So for example, as we mentioned earlier, we're fundamentally made up of lots of independent businesses that were acquired over the last 15 years. Each of those independent businesses was successful among itself, but as a corporation, we can actually bring this together as a much more efficient operation and start sharing areas such as accounts payable, accounts receivable, HR transactions across the business units. But you can't do that if you've got 35 separate ERP systems out there. You can't do that if they all have their individual processes. So if we get this in quickly within the next 4 years, and then we start to move to a shared service operation, we can actually drive some of the costs out of the business, invest those into the future, and help with the growth of Maple Leaf.